Hi guys, it's Joey O'Rowan, and today's video is going to be on the subject of putting your own magical intentions, your own energies into magical workings, whether it be items that you create and whether you should create items versus buying items perhaps. Just moving my necklaces, excuse me. It's been one of those days today. The phone's been ringing all day and door's been going, so I'm hoping I'm going to get this video done. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about whether or not you should create your own items versus buying your own items, and the process of your intentions, your magical energies, of putting things into things, the difference between that and buying things, and some of the things I've noticed about the current sort of climate in buying items and things like spell kits and things like that, the pros and cons and stuff of things like that. It might sound a little bit abstract. I promise I have an idea of where I'm going in my mind. Sort of. Yeah, so I've surrounded myself with things that I have made. I will possibly lift and talk about things as I do. Okay, so to start off with, magical items seem to be taking a huge space in online discussions and things, and people competing with their products and as a cult. Not like a cult, like because if I say cult, people are going to misunderstand what I mean. It's basically a cult of buying, a cult of capitalism at the minute, because people are getting very excited about selling, and we've lost some of the magic of making your own. And when I say cult of that, I mean as in trend, as in that's all over the place at the minute, rather than an actual physical cult. It's not the same thing, just in case anybody's confused. And I think there is great magic to be had in the creation of your own magical items. And there's great self-awareness and confidence comes from learning how to do something and realizing you can do it, and then you can get good at it. And that versus the cult of buying things pre-done, such as spell kits. Now, I've only bought one, I think, spell kit in my life, and it was really disappointing. I bought it at the very start of my path, when I was interested in seeing how they put things together. And I'm still interested in that sort of thing. I still look at pictures, I still go through Etsy, I still Google search on images and see how people have done altar setups, for example, and spell kit setups and spell setups, and I look at it and I think, because it's basically expanding my mind by visual prompts, because it's like, how does someone else do something? They don't do it exactly the same way as I do, and I find that fascinating. I find it fascinating to see how different witches approach certain things in different ways and how they set up things, and I occasionally think that's a really good idea, I want to incorporate, or I think that's a load of nonsense, I wouldn't do that, or and debate and discuss, even if it's only an inner monologue with myself, about how I do things versus how someone else does things. And I find that a really eye-opening and necessary learning experience, because I am solitary. And I don't like anyone telling me I should be doing it a certain way, because it's my path, and that's why I'm solitary. It's mine, I do it my way. If I'm wrong, then I will figure it out, and I don't need someone telling me that their way is better than mine or not, because it might be better for you, doesn't make it better for me. I've been learning a long time. I've still got plenty to learn, but you know, nobody likes being talked down to, condescended upon, especially when they're proud of their creations. A person's creations is basically the same as an altar. It is their personal expression of self, their personal expression of their relationship with deity, and their personal expression of how they would achieve a set goal when they are creating an item. So you create an oil for a specific reason, you create a herbal blend for a specific reason, you create a spell bottle for a specific reason. That is your interpretation of how a spell should look, of what should go into it, of how your energies infuse into an item, and that's all to do with your relationship with deity. My nails might be slightly dirty. It's not dirt, it's remnants of nail varnish. I've been trying to take it off and it's stained a little bit. Apologies for that. And I think it's really, really important to express yourself through the creation of your magical items and workings, whether or not you're spellcrafting. You could be making an incense to burn in offering, you could be making a candle for your own relaxation, your own enjoyment. It doesn't have to have spell intent, because there is another one of these broad things that's going around that everything with witches is creating for spell work, and you don't have to be doing spell work morning, noon and night to be a witch, and you don't have to be doing spell work to be creating. I think it's healthy to create things for your daily use, such as you might create things to go in the bath. So for a cleansing of yourself, you might create an incense for your meditations. That's nothing to do with spell work. And there is a very broad sort of thing around at the minute that everything is made for spells. Like that's all that witches should be doing. And it's putting the importance on the buying, the purchasing of spells, rather than a well-rounded creation encouragement. I'm trying to think of what I mean because my head is so at the minute. I've been like this for days. I think I'm coming down with something again. Every time the gnome comes back from the office for a couple of days, we pick up a new bug. It's a pain at the minute. Anyway, so I'm looking at things I've got around me. Okay, so what have I got around me that is a good example? That I mentioned. That's a good one. Okay, let's take these two, because these two, oh, and that one, are simple, easy, and I've shared all of these, I believe, that I have in front of me right now. I've got lots of other bits and pieces all around me to visual prompts, visual aids, right? So the first thing I made, and I made this on camera, was the light and the load. The lighting is going to be terrible. It looks really slightly better. Light and the load incense, okay? And this is incense made by me, for me, with the general idea of uplifting when we're feeling sad, when we're feeling moody, when our mood is down. To have a little incense that you just sprinkle on, and it just lightens you up. It's nothing to do particularly with spell work. You could use it in an anti-sadness spell if you so desired, but then again you can incorporate everything, and you don't have to incorporate anything physical into spell work anyway. Everything you do can effectively be a spell, although it's not technically a spell. By which I mean you can incorporate magic into every aspect of your life, into every idea, into the mundane. It doesn't have to be sitting and casting a spell exactly. It's just bringing the magic into every breath, every step, and recognizing that your relationship with divinity can be in all manner of different ways. It doesn't have to be about spells, particularly as in like a spell kit. Another thing I have here, shake that up, shake, 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 shake your booty. Right, so shake your madness at the camera. Right, so this is bath salts, which I mentioned, Morrigan bath salts. Whee! And I created these, and you can smell them through your bag because I look insane right there. And this is beautiful. And basically, that is for spirituality in the bathroom. which sounds nuts, right? But spirituality in the bathroom is easy, necessary, and fantastic for your relationship with deity, because you put some stuff in the bath to cleanse yourself, to cleanse your spirit, to cleanse your energy and your aura. Nothing to do with spell work as we understand a spell, but it is changing your energies, your mindset, your aura. You are cleansing out that negativity. Now, in a previous video, which I did ages ago, I did a protection and cleansing negativity video, and I did that in stages, showing that there are things you can do without any magical tools or props whatsoever, things with basic stuff that anybody can get, and stuff that's slightly more tool-ified, like things that most witches would probably have after a certain point, but aren't necessarily kitchen stuff. But, for example, you could use, and I have used, a bath mixture of salt, rosemary, star anise, clove, bay leaf. Crush it all up with your hands if you didn't have anything else. Sprinkle it in the bath. The bath will smell yummy, and it works its magical intent. And all you need to do is basically focus your energy through each thing. You could put them in individually. You could mix them all up and grind your intent, your energy into this, and then sprinkle. And all those things are available at the supermarket. All of them. You don't have to have any specialists to find those things. And we've somehow got into our minds that if somehow we buy them from a specialised pagan place, it's somehow more magical than if we buy them from the supermarket. Now, and I had a conversation with my very good friend earlier, and she was saying how she's very reluctant to buy candles from the supermarket because of all the people that have handled them and their energies and etc. Now, I fully agree with her. You know, sometimes you pick things up, and candles, for example, and you're a bit because so many people have handled them. However, herbs and salts and things are in self-containers, and you should be fine with that sort of thing. And you have no guarantee that even if you did buy it from a pagan-y place, that somebody's negative energies haven't got into it somehow along the way. And it's just, you're responsible for your aura, your home, cleansing things and using things in such a way that you are imbuing your energies into things and keeping them cleansed. But things like that bath mixture I mentioned, are simple, easy, and you can get bits from everywhere. Easy, regularly, you know. All you really need is salt. If you didn't have anything other than salt, that would work fine. And in fact, you could just work it. You could have empty bath. Whoa, the camera. I went like this, and the camera went, woo! You see, that's my magic right there. Yeah, that wasn't me, totally. Honest. That was weird. And now I look a funny colour. Can we go back to... No? That's better webcam, thank you. You could even just fill an empty bath with water and just pour your energies into the bath water, visualise it glowing white, and then get in and visualise all your negativity leaving you. And that would do the job, you know. There is no... you don't have to buy things from a certain place, a certain pagan-y shop, for them to have magical properties. And you don't have to rely on other people to make things for you. You can make them yourself. Even some things that are simple, just because you've made them, you've poured your energy into them, you have created them, that gives them an extra specialness to you, and it's your relationship with deity that's working through things. So one more thing, this is cute. This is my magical tool, and I use it for stirring things like herbal blends and things. And this was a, I did a video on it, it was a cooking chopstick, so it's fatter and longer than normal chopsticks, and I then attached crystals to it and attached and drew a rune on so that it then imbues all magical energies into my further magical workings. That's something you could use that as a wand, right? You don't have to buy these really expensive wands for it to work. You don't need a wand at all if you don't want one. You can use your finger, you can just project energy. The most magical tool is you. And that's, while I'm showing you these things, right, so the key message of this video is the most magical thing of all is you. It's your energy, it's your relationship with deity, it's your expression of self. It's not the things that make the magic, it is you. And your items will be more special to you in your magical workings than anything you've bought, than the most expensive candle, than whatever, you know? The most expensive spell kit, the most expensive wand, the most blah, 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 blah. Like, for example, I can now show my necklace. I was not showing my necklaces off because a certain wonderful lady has one too. And I didn't want to ruin her surprise. Right, so I have my magical... this is the second one. But this is one that my friend sent me. You see? Can you see it glowing? It's so beautiful. This is a carnelian. And my very good friend sent it me, and it is so special to me because my friend sent it me with all of her love, all of her intent, and it protects me and keeps me safe. And it's more about the love behind it than it is about the thing itself, although the crystal, of course, being a crystal, powers itself away and takes on that energy. And it took, when she sent me a few crystals, and all of her energy was vibrating off them. It was amazing. And this is something I want to touch on when I make things. Okay, and I don't know fully how I'm going to express this without sounding completely nutty. When I make things, they sing to me. They have a vibration. They vibrate an energy level, and the created item should absolutely orchestra sing at me before I'm happy with it, before we use it or apply it or send it off. I don't sell at the minute. With all, yeah. But when I create things, they should have a vibration, connectivity to deity, all of their own. They should sing. And the best way I can explain how I go through this process is with a candle. So this is my Imbolc candle. This one right here. There's a layer of lavender down here, and there's a layer of lavender within the wax, within the center. Don't know how well it's going to show. Oh, you can see. In here, in this blue circle where the glitter is, that's all in the wax. And that was put in by me as I was filling the mould up, and I put lavender in. And I have explained the thought process behind some of the Imbolc candle before, but I'm going to mention bits and pieces again. So this is possibly the Virgo in me, and it's possibly just me, but everything should have its purpose, point. Everything that is put into this is picked, selected, created, done on purpose, finalized. For example, first and foremost, the base color of this candle is blue, a nice dark blue. It actually looks dark, lighter on this webcam because the webcam is doing something nuts. It's actually dark, slightly darker than it looks. There, you can sort of see. And I use candle dye, and I wanted it this colour, and I will not allow a candle to come out the wrong colour. It should be the colour it's meant to be, the colour for that colour magic, that purpose, that intent, that blue, that healing colour. And I will check the colour and check the colour, and when I am happy with the colour, then I will put it in its mould. I will put glitter in if it wants glitter in. Usually it wants glitter in. I can't think of a circumstance not to put glitter in it. And this has lavender in, as I showed you at first, and that idea of that is to represent, in this Imbolc candle, the seeds that have yet to spring forth life. And that has the symbolism that ties into Imbolc. Okay, and then the white drip, just white drip on this candle, and there are other candles of, I don't think I have any to hand because there are some back on the thing over there, but that this candle is purely white drip, as you can see, and the whole point in that was the melting of the snow, of the symbolism of Imbolc. And this is what I mean. Every little specific thing in the magical working witch's mind has an important symbolism or tie into a type of magic. This, what we're discussing right now, the blue and the white being the snow melting and it's starting to open up for spring, and obviously snowdrops as well, is colour magic. The lavender within the candle to represent seeds is symbolism, powerful symbolism, which draws on my interpretation of how Imbolc ties into the Wheel of the Year, that starting to stir of seeds. My energy is vibrating like crazy because I've got all these magical items around me. I'm like this. Woo! Nuts. Right, so following this, we then have the herb selection around the top of the candle and the crystal selection around the top of the candle. I selected, now there's rose quartz and normal quartz around, and one citrine by the looks of it. I write it all down while I'm doing it usually. And I go through all the all the crystal pieces. I'm looking at them, I'm deciding, I'm feeling out the vibrations of each crystal, deciding what type of crystal I want for their vibrational spiritual purpose, so that then vibrates its energy through the candle. And the crystal energy ties into or bolsters or is in a symbiotic relationship with the energy of the candle's purposeful intent. So rose quartz is the love aspect, right? So the maiden goddess, the gentle, peaceful love, and that's what I think rose quartz is all about, that gentle, peaceful love. The quartz is the purifying process, the citrine is the purifying happiness of the candle, and then the herbal selection is going to be things that tie in with the crystal intent and the candle intent and the whole purpose of the candle. There's rose petals in this, there's jasmine in this, there's cornflower petals in this, there's salt in this, more glitter obviously. Did I say cornflower petals? Jasmine, lavender and chamomile. And those, I won't go into their individual properties, most people will know, but every single herb is selected, is imbued, is placed on this candle, so each vibration adds to the song. So it's like each selection is its own note, its own vibration of energy of song, and by the end of it you should have a full-blown orchestra. Every time I create things like this, I open circle. I open circle like this because not for the protection aspect, it's because I consider everything I make like this to be an expression of my relationship with deity. The opening the circle is in respect of deity. It's the creation of a sacred space, a world within worlds, a special place where the energies of the relationship between deity and me freely flow. The creative juices go, the relationship with goddess goes, and she's speaking and she's talking, and I'm feeling the emotions of that relationship, and as I am creating each purpose with her, she's taking the reins, I'm following along. I think, I feel, she nudges, you know, and that's as much as into that as I want to go, because each person should explore that relationship with deity whilst they are making their magical items for their own purposes, because it is a higher purpose behind bits, right? You don't need any of these bits to have a strong relationship with deity. You don't need any of them for spell work, but I recommend doing it because you are embracing your creativity in your spiritual path in such a way which is unique and powerful and special to you and your relationship with deity. So, what else have I got that I can show you which will drive home that? I mean, I have a little spell bottle here, and the bottle itself is recycled from a bottle which we will have used for some sort of food source. I imagine because it was blue. I don't know, actually. I know the black one's a soy sauce and the red one's a chili sauce. Or maybe it was Thai fish sauce in this originally. And this is picked for healing, again in bulk. The lid is blue. There is a rune binding on the lid that is sealed with white silver wax. The colour is important. The colour of the blue ribbon is important. And then if you can see all the layers upon layers of different herbs, every herb has been selected for a specific purpose. And I will tell you there are 3 levels of salt made in Mother Crone, and purifying each, because it's like purifying to finish, purifying to start, and purifying halfway through. Keep purifying it, because purification being a strong theme of Imbolc, which is when the spell bottle was created for. I think that's enough of me wiggling items in front of your face, but the point the point of the items is to drive home something else. The magical tool is you. You don't need anything for spellcraft. You don't need anything for honouring deity. These things are bolsters to your own energy field. You know, the certain smells help you connect with deity. The certain incenses help you do things. The different bits and pieces are ways of channeling your energy to petition the universe for something or other, which is what spell work is. It's effectively using your energies to channel through items when you don't need items. You don't have to have that. It's just an added sort of visual bonus to petition deity for help, for aid with what you're needing at the current time. And if you have spent time, effort, thought, creativity, and your own energies at creating these items, it's a little bolster to your relationship with deity as far as I'm concerned. And I think it's well worth investing time into trying to make your own. And it can be so, so simple. Like I showed those little spell candles I did. I think that was Imbolc, or was that the full moon? I think it was Imbolc. The little white spell candles which I attached to tea light and just put herbs around the bottom. Nothing could be simpler than that. And yet they were pretty, you know? So the whole point of this video is just to basically suggest the idea that you are more than capable. You have been created the way you are. Everybody is special and unique, and you can put that into items. If you so desire items, then try it out. Push for it. It doesn't, you know, there's no such thing as I can't. You just have to try. So that's going to be it for this video. Many blessings.